Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Oja Shrestha. I am the founder and CEO of Vitafy Health. It's a free market healthcare delivery platform. I would like to start my presentation with a question. How do you shop for things like electronics, travel, or your next vacation home? And how do you shop for healthcare? As we know that there are a lot of free market solutions for every industry except for healthcare. And the reason is because the relationship between a doctor and a patient is controlled and dictated by the insurance companies, and it's filled with waste and fraud. Doctors are focused on billings rather than patient care, and patients have no idea about cost and quality of the services, and they are bound by the network that they are tied to. Because of that, the healthcare cost keeps going up every single year. This is my health insurance premium, which rose over 500% in 3 years. Same insurance. So that's why Vitafy is born to change the healthcare with transparency and direct contracting. Like every other free market, like Airbnb, Expedia, Amazon, it's a technology platform for healthcare where doctors can offer their own services and price, and consumers would buy them. This way, consumers can pick the doctors, and doctors can focus on patient care. Consumers will know the actual cost and quality of the services, and doctors get paid on time. Overall, this model, the free market model that has worked in every other industry, is going to lower the cost, improve the quality, and provide more flexibility and options for both doctors and consumers. We have 3 verticals in our product: a marketplace that marry the providers and independent healthcare providers and self-insured employee groups and consumers together to have that free market relationship. A practice management system, a software that is for providers that would like to participate in a free market solution for patient enrollment and billing. And it's a very heavy technology focused company. So we license some of our product and technologies for other companies to grow in similar spaces. Since it's a technology company, our revenue is based on a subscription and a transaction fee. It is a cloud-based healthcare delivery platform that connects the key decision makers of healthcare: providers, patients, and the payers. 3 people together into one cohesive system to drive value-based healthcare. And we make money through a subscription model and a transaction fee. There are competitors out there, but it's very unique for Vitafy because the way we look at it is they're not really our competitors, they're actually our customers. Whether it's OrthoCarolina that wants to participate in a free market solution, offering their pricing, or whether it's Green Imaging Centers, other companies that are doing bundles across the nations, those all come together, becomes a customer for Vitafy, so we can take those information and give it to the consumers and self-insured employee groups. The big bookers on the right, big insurance companies have 0 product in this space. Company started in 2017, spent the first 2 years in marketing and product development, went live last year and had a revenue of 30,000. Our goal this year is to get to a revenue of 250K with an exit in 2025 or before at a $100 million valuation. I put some of the stats of how we're going to get to that and what kind of audience group we need in each customer segments. Sorry, skip through this slide here on mouse click. So it's a pretty huge lift. That's why we have built a team of expertise from every other industry: healthcare, technology, marketing, and entrepreneurship. These people that I have in my team are expert in each one of those industry. That's helping me build this company to a valuation that we need and get to the hands of every providers and consumers out there. I'm seeking $500,000 at 2.5 million valuation, out of which 50% would be used in marketing and sales, and a little bit of engineering support and admin. I've broken down on how I'm going to spend that money. Half of that has been committed from one of the team members, and we're looking for the remaining half to be raised. Thank you, and I would just like to end my presentation with a question again. Do you believe that you and your doctors should be deciding on your healthcare rather than the insurance companies out there? If you believe so, then you should participate in Vitafy in one way or the other, as an investor or a customer. Thank you very much.
Good job. Good virtual applause there for Ojosh. Great use of time there.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, Mark.
Start off, Arthur. Yeah, I'll kick it off. Oh, Josh, great presentation. Good use of time. Good use of slides. Again, the arts and crafts were good, nice and tight. I mean, you were able to visualize or help me visualize some complexity, especially in the business model, driver or sources of revenue. So just kind of thinking back to the visual presentation, that was pretty strong. I like the problem statement up front. Obviously, it's great to see it stated out there. So I think that's a good way to tee this thing up. Just to dig in, one question I have here, and it's a gap. It was at least a gap in my understanding, is the use of the competitive landscape slide and your point about these are customers, not competitors, is interesting. So I guess a lingering question in my mind that you might be able to address in a shorter format pitch is either what you're displacing in terms of existing software, or if you're not displacing software, maybe say that. Oftentimes when I'm diligencing a software startup or early stage software that has some traction, the question is, are we displacing something, or are we kind of creating a new, step or part of the workflow, right? So it's like, I think I understand how your software plays across the various constituents in this end market or this value chain, but I'd like to just kind of get a little deeper on that. And sometimes explaining we're displacing this, or we're, kind of adding or creating value this way. So that was one point. And then more tactically, at the end, I'd put the names of the team members on the slide. I don't think you had their names there, and just more, you were kind of referencing thematics like tech and healthcare. I would just state their names and their backgrounds. At least that's how my brain wants to kind of consume it. I also wouldn't, just as it relates to the valuation and your ask, I wouldn't put a valuation target on anything. I would just say, I'm raising 500,000. Here's what I want to spend it on. I also think you could add some substance to, like, here's what we're going to not just do with the money, but here's what we're going to kind of learn over the next, 1 or 2 years as we burn that 500K. So yeah, I would never put a valuation ask out there. Doesn't serve you well. You're kind of negotiating against yourself in that regard, I think. But that's just my 2 cents. Throw it over. I don't know if you had any comments or questions on that, Josh or Garth.
Mark, those are all great points. Missed on naming the team members there, but those are great. Those are great points. Yes, and those are good points.
Okay, yeah, Garth, what do you think?
Thanks, Mark, for hogging all the good points. I wrote down the 3 things, and you ticked them off almost in order. So that's
great minds think alike. Come on.
And then, naturally, you went a little deeper, and you thought of some other things too. But yeah, well, Josh, good job. Great setup. Not good setup. Great setup. I was with you right from the start. It's one thing that I would say, whenever I see more than, how are we going to make money? We're going to make money here, and we're going to charge these guys, and we're going to have a SaaS model. I'm like, you're just like, you guys made $30,000 last year. How did you make it? I would pick that and give it away to everyone else as you build your audience. And, and if you feel like you made a mistake, you're like, the real money is in SaaS, then good. You can pivot down the road when you know what's going on. But just the accounting of trying to count the pennies in 3 different channels is, it's too much for a startup, would definitely be my advice. It's also, I agree with Mark, my 3 big, the legs of the stool. I'm like, what is the market? Who are you? And, and then just sort of like what the actual idea is. And you set up the market pretty well, but the who, again, the no names, I was like, that was I would say 10 more seconds and definitely put the names of the people. Cause I mean, that was just a blur for me. I was like, huh? Like who am I talking to? Even just a sentence or two on your background. Like, why you? Like, great idea. Why you? You know, so you want to make sure you hit that. Yeah, those were really my three big things. Overall, good job. Nice, really nice flow, you know, good slides, great use of the time.
Thank you. I appreciate that, God. So I'm Ojosh, and my background, I'm going to answer some of those questions. I think I missed that. I was supposed to go through that, but I was trying to kind of skip through that. But the team is composed of me. I have about 20 years experience in building healthcare technologies, and I'm a consumer, and I participate in free market. So, and because of my healthcare insurance premium that went skyrocketed from, you know, you saw those, that's why I started Vitafy. And the team members that are involved are, everyone have either at least 30 or if not more experience in each one of those sectors, whether it's healthcare insurance or building a new company from scratch. So I will put that in the description. I'll make sure I present that in my next presentation. But yes, the $30,000 revenue that we have and the growth that we have already seen this year came through different verticals. And I do get a feedback that are we stretched too much in focusing on 3 different verticals? But the way that I'm looking at it is I'm kind of playing with the market. I know which one gives the biggest revenue from the financial model that we ran through, but some are used to test it out, and some are used as a Trojan horse to get to the next step. So in reality, we are actually testing all 3 markets, and all seems to be doing well. But I'm very, very sure by the end of the year, we'll know 1 or 2 markets, or 1 or 2 verticals that will be putting a lot more focus on. But it's just that every vertical helps each other in an ecosystem on marketplace and practice management and the licensing SaaS, because we get data from there, and that's how our licensing is built. Use our software for a very nominal fee to put all of your providers and pricing. However, allow Vitafy to use it so we can show them to the consumers to purchase those, right? So it's a partnership deal on those licensing deal as well. So it's nominal fee, but let us use your data because we want to drive, and that's what they want too. Every licensing company that are taking the software to manage their providers and the price would like to get a customer at the end of the day, even a cash paying customer. So it's working out well. And so we're trying those 3 verticals at the moment, but that makes sense. Thank you.
Great, Josh. I think we've got some time, unless Mark and Garth, you've got any more comments. We're getting some questions here in the chat.
Go for it.
All right. So the first one that I'm seeing here, lots of recommendations and comments. So Josh, that you might want to check out. But a question for you is, why are big corporations not creating these types of products?
Oh, that's a great question. That's the business model, to keep everything under the table. Discounts. People talk about discounts in healthcare, and people who know discounts it's literally not a discount. It's like cold summer. No, but because their model is based on their network. It's not based on free market. It's controlled. So they will participate at some point in time, but it's going to be the last resort that they're going to jump into. And the government has asked them to put pricing out there, but if you go to their Ascension website or our website to find their pricing, normal consumer cannot make sense of how much it's going to cost. But it is inevitable that at some point in time, they will participate in this free market.
Awesome, thanks. And that question was from Eric Kirsch. We've also got another one here from Martin Lawrence. How would this work for consumers? Are they abandoning their primary care providers, or are they integrated into the solution?
Great question, great. If you're fully insured through an employee group and you have a very low deductible, you don't care about this. Those are not our customer audience. If you have a very high deductible plan, and if you're part of a self-insured employer group, or if you're self-employed like me, right? I have to pay for my own insurance, and I don't, the government marketplace does not really apply for me for subsidization. If you're a low-income family, it works for them. But if you're paying too much for your healthcare, you look at this free market options, which will tremendously reduce healthcare. And me, as an example, I'm happy to answer that question on a side note on how much I personally saved every single year since 2017 when I left the Blue Cross Blue Shield and jumped into a free market. There are various programs out there that significantly saves you money today, and will also cover you on the long term with health share programs and some other additional programs out there.
And then I think we got time for one more here from Kimberly Level. Would this allow for natural health practitioners?
Natural meaning?
I'm thinking maybe holistic.
Oh, got it. Yes, it works for everyone that wants to take cash paying dentals. We already have dental providers signed up too. We started with primary care and specialty care and health, but now we have dental providers coming online because they're going into a membership model. Pay a flat $30 per month and you have unlimited dental visit to our place anytime you have a problem. Same thing with primary care. It's like a Netflix for healthcare. You pay one fee and you have unlimited access to a primary care. So you have the big, strong connection. And then for specialty care providers, for MRI, knee replacement, all those procedures, you have a coverage that works slightly different than networks.
Awesome.
It's all cash paying, so it's very, very low.
Thank you. So I'm seeing a couple. Sorry, I'm just seeing I'm seeing more questions coming in here, but we do have to move on to the next company. So be sure to hop in the chat, Josh, and check some of those comments and questions out. You can answer them there. And